Well, that was messy. And I'm not talking about the soccer player, Lionel Messi. Leo, whatever his name is.
Well, yeah, that's how much we know about Messi. We don't even properly know how to say his name. How's it going, everyone? That was a Sarah and Sarah original joke. How's it going, everyone? It's about 12 hours after U.S. women's national team barely survived the group stage round. I thought we were going home like Canada for a while.
Oh dear.
The goal was to get to the round of 16. Obviously, I think they would have liked to be in the first place in their group, but they got to the next round, and that was their goal.
U.S. women's national team advances to round of 16 despite uninspired scoreless draw versus Portugal. It was nervy. At times, it was panic-inducing and alarming, but the U.S. women's national team is on to the round of 16 here at the 2023 World Cup, barely by the margin of a goalpost. The Americans were uninspiring and anxious over 90 minutes against Portugal on Tuesday. They arrived at Eden Park atop Group E. They entered the final 30 minutes clinging to second place. In stoppage time, Portuguese striker Ana Capeta waltzed through the U.S. defense and beat goalkeeper Alyssa Nair, but her low shot struck the post and roamed off to safety.
But that is what everyone's talking about. Not everyone. That is what everyone's talking about.
Goalpost gate,
as Carli Lloyd said at the very end of her commentary, which we're going to talk about in a second. The MVP on that field was the goalpost.
Wild.
It's 2 inches to the left, Sarah. They're on the plane back home. 2 inches to the left.
Well, clearly that wasn't meant to be.
But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. That didn't happen. They did make it through.
I almost stepped into a sinkhole, but I didn't quite. So
exactly.
There, you could be here, you could be there. I don't know.
But some of the good things we saw, we saw Lynn starting. Everyone says, "Where's Lynn? Get Lynn out there. Get Lynn." And Lynn had a few opportunities, very, very close opportunities.
Yeah, I was really excited to see that Lynn was starting.
Yeah, Lynn out there. First half, it wasn't great. No game plan. One of the commentators said there was no game plan on offense or defense, which isn't good.
It's not good.
Most people said, as much as USA didn't play great, Portugal actually played pretty well. So one of the people said the Portuguese actually played one of the games of their lifetime. So that is something where you can kind of look as a positive, that the Portuguese players didn't play bad. Portuguese were a very formidable opponent who played well, who really, really put their heart out there, and it still wasn't good enough to beat the U.S. women's national team. So, a lot of people are talking about, the biggest thing I see out there is people still think whatever the women are doing on the field, it has to come from the top, meaning Vlatko. A lot of people just think his coaching is
not it.
It's confusing. They just feel like the players look like they're playing individually, like at all of them. It's not just one, that everyone it looks disjointed. And I think when you have a good coach, it can show you the difference. Now, a lot of people say Bev Priestman's a good coach. Canada went out, you know what I mean? So
that's true.
But it's hard because I think a lot of people have criticisms of Vlatko. I don't see hardly anyone saying anything positive about his coaching. Maybe neutral, but nothing really positive about his coaching.
Well, it's good to know it's not the girls and it's just the coach. So
well, maybe a little
I'm fine
bit
with that. No,
can't think about what ifs, but that would have been if it went 2 inches to the left, they would be out. And it's hard to see because what the U.S. women's national team has meant for so long. All teams go in cycles, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It was hard. It was a hard game to watch. And to know that it's realistically, you're looking at a team that doesn't look like it can win the World Cup because there's so many talented teams right now. Although every single team has had a road bump practically in this World Cup. Every team has had a road bump. It just doesn't look like a World Cup winning team.
Yeah, but luckily I believe in miracles.
No, and that's the thing. I think you have to count the U.S. women's national team out for them to say, "Hey, I don't know who you think you are."
You gotta pull Lindsay. You gotta make him mad. You gotta piss him off. So, oh my gosh, I just found the solution. What they need to do is they need to go online and they need to see what everyone is saying.
Yeah, and it will fire them.
They need to see the trash that is being talked.
Yeah,
we're gonna show them what we are made of.
Yeah, they should have shown Lindsay extra.
Yeah, right. Piss her off. Woo.
Also, the one specific thing in the game I want to talk about is that Rose Lavelle got a yellow card. I'm actually not quite sure what minute. And I actually watched Sam MEWIS talk about this on her recap with Men in Blazers. She said that was basically one of the softest yellow cards that she has seen in a long time, if ever. How?
Yeah, it looked like Rose just like fell, and then she was just falling.
Yeah.
Like forward, and then you happened to take a player out, but
yeah,
total accident, not even a yellow.
We have seen things
for that. I'm giving the ref a yellow.
Yes,
this ref actually was a red.
yeah. And Sam actually talked about how it really upset her, like very upset her. But she knows, just like everyone else, that's the game. Sometimes it's unfair. She was pissed because to take out Rose Lavelle, person the U.S. Women's National Team needs practically the most. And to take her out for the next game because she'll be on 2 yellows, it sucks.
That's why they paid the ref off. So,
I know.
Yeah.
But I guess that happens, that's sports. But yeah, that was very infuriating. Especially, okay, if you're going to get a yellow, but like most people said, that was such a bad call. So that really sucks. Now, and more than likely, this will be determined overnight. That's when the games are going to determine. Looks like U.S. is going to play Sweden in the round of 16. And that's not good news for the United States. Sweden beat the United States at the Olympics. Sweden's a tough team. The one thing I will say, I like the Swedish team. So if the U.S. did lose to the Swedish team,
take it back, you son of a lady.
I'm not saying which teams, but I rather them lose to a team that I like than a team I don't like.
The look I'm giving her right now.
I know. Sorry about that.
Wish you could see.
But I do like the Swedish team. But the big thing we did want to talk about was kind of the controversy that kind of is happening with what Carli Lloyd had to say after the performance. Everyone who knows Carli Lloyd, it's kind of like you either love her or hate her. Not hate, but you either like her or don't like her. Mm-hmm. And a lot of her commentary has been a little bit divisive, but we're going to read a little bit and then we're going to talk about.
Carli Lloyd didn't hold back on her former U.S. Women's National teammates after a 0-0 tie with Portugal. The United States team will move on to the elimination rounds after getting that crucial point, but it was a close one. Portugal nearly scored in the 91st minute, but banged off on the post. And it was after the game that Fox showed images of the U.S. Women's National Team members dancing a bit and signing with fans in attendance. Lloyd was shocked and ripped the team for that. And this is what Carli said. "I have never witnessed something like that," she said. "There's a difference between being respectful of the fans and saying hello to your family, but to be dancing and smiling, the player of the match was the post. You're lucky not to be going home right now."
Some of the comments that Carli made post-show that people kind of really got people had a reaction to because, Carli Lloyd, who just retired from the team a year or two ago, she was very blunt in her observations. That comment and a few other comments about the team not playing well enough, not playing, having the fight in them, not putting out a product that the U.S. Women's National Team should be putting out. And then she saw the players, it was on the screen, and they were dancing and smiling after the match. And she thought that was she couldn't believe it. So I guess here's the question. Do you agree with Carli, what she is saying, or do you disagree with what Carli is saying?
I understand where she's coming from. But just because it was like that, it's like after the game, like you don't have to like cry or mourn or anything or be like sad and depressed. The fans don't want to see that. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm torn. I thought she had a point. It was kind of a dramatic thing to say, but I think that she takes it from the place of how she would react, and she wouldn't do that, and that's okay. I think the fact that they did move on, I think it's okay to say, hey, we moved on. I don't know. I don't think there's anything bad with that. But if she wouldn't have done it herself, or she doesn't think that's the fight, that's not fighting, and smiling after barely moving on.
She was wild for that goalpost.
Yeah,
that goalpost comment.
And then Alexi Lalas said something like it looked like Crystal Dunn had never played soccer before. Yeah. That was an out of pocket comment. That was wild. But I honestly think Carli wouldn't do that for herself. Kind of the narrative of Carli and other people have said, a lot of people think some of the success with the women's national team has brought in people, the fame has brought almost like attitude kind of. I don't know, like I can't sit here and say what she said was the worst thing, but it's just, I guess, her opinion that I don't agree with, and it's just her opinion.
Carli has extremely high standards for herself and the team because, she knows what the U.S. women's national team was capable of / I guess is capable of.
Maybe I think she almost takes it she takes it personally. I think she looks at it says, I built this team, not personally, but my generation built this team because it's Carli. She thinks that, whether it's true or not. I built this team to give them all, these World Cups and everything. And now it's being disrespectful to what I did. And now laughing and joking about barely making it into the round of 16, because Carli is very,
she has tunnel vision.
She's tunnel vision about performance and about her. Some call it selfish. It could be selfish, but that's how she became a winner, as I guess being selfish in a sense. And that's why I think a lot of people don't like it either. They're like, oh, Carli's thinking about Carli, and these comments.
LeBron James passes the ball. I don't actually know. I've never seen the man play.
Yeah,
but
some of the very best athletes in the world are selfish or whatnot, but Carli's probably thinking it's disrespectful. She had said this too. It's disrespectful to the people who played before you, to treat this so flippantly, to be like, oh yeah, we made it. But I mean, I still don't think they should go out there and be sad and put their head down. And I think there might be a middle ground possibly, but I still think they should be. I guess Carli's saying you shouldn't really be too proud of what you did, because what you did was the bare minimum. Then, the couple more words she said, she goes, today was uninspiring, disappointed, and they don't look fit. They're playing as individuals, and the tactics are too predictable. They're lucky they're not going home right now. So, I mean, she had criticism about everything. But if you go to I'm just looking at one comment section I'm looking at here. A lot of the comment section agrees with Carli, which doesn't surprise me, but like right here it says, Carli is talking straight facts. USA got super lucky. That goalpost made them qualify. Then the celebrations after, they need to look back at the basics and focus. And then someone said, Carli is totally correct. So a lot of people do agree with Carli, but a lot of people say, they're not given a good foundation from Vlatko, and that's not helping the team. And also, they're allowed to be happy. You can't take away their happiness from them. And I see both sides, but I think Carli's just looking at it like how she would look at it for herself. And I think that's her opinion. But not everyone's like Carli. I don't know. Actually, my favorite headline that I saw when I was looking at this, it said, "This is my favorite headline. Carli Lloyd somehow finds invalid criticism for a team that did everything wrong." That was my favorite headline. I didn't even read the story, but that headline got me.
That's wild. The media's wild.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just hoping this motivates the team. I'm just hoping that not to say Carli's comments are going to motivate them, because I don't think it would work quite like that. But I think they're just going to be like, yeah, we got in. But now we're going to do the real work. Even if they crash out in the round of 16, that just means
they won't. Don't say that. No.
That just means they're going to come back. Honestly, you can't stay at the top forever. No one stays at the top forever. That's not possible. And at the end of the day, if this is the journey of them rebuilding again, and maybe with a different head coach after the World Cup, maybe that's what it's going to be. But can't stay on top forever, and that's just the way the world goes. Also, did anyone hear that loud noise inside the stadium? I mean, the commentators talked about it, but the loud noise.
Oh, wasn't it like a fire alarm or something? Like,
yeah, I saw a TikTok saying that it was a fire alarm. It came on my FYP, and the girl who said it was like, no one seemed to be that bothered. The Americans were just, it's an alarm. They weren't even bothered. And that Sarah reminded me of the time at the Arsenal game where the snack shack went up in flames.
Well, it looked like it was.
And then someone told us who was there, said no, it didn't go up in flames. It was just they were cleaning out the grills. But it looked like it was completely on fire. What did they call it? Not this. It was the breakfast hub. the lunchbox. I think that's what it's called at Arsenal, the lunchbox.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it reminded me of that, which I thought was kind of funny. But no one was hurt. It was just a false alarm. But what does everyone think? What does everyone think about them sneaking into the round of 16? What does everyone think about Carli Lloyd's comments? Like I said, I can see both sides. I really can. And I think on a team, you need someone dancing and you need a Carli Lloyd.
I would be dancing.
Then again, someone might say, well, maybe you don't need a Carli Lloyd. And then someone might say you might need a dancer. But I think having all different types on a team is probably a good thing.
Someone might also say you don't need a Vlatko.
A lot of people. Now that was controversial.
I was wrong for that.
What does everyone think? Question, comments down below. We'll talk to you later. Have a great night.
Bye.